This is a really challenging co-problem for white. So the shape seems a little broken here, so white actually needs a couple of moves here, right? White must save this stone, otherwise black will succeed very easily. So white must connect here. This is the only move, right? Other moves will fail instantly. Of course, white is hoping to play this code right here. If black captures at number 6, white can throw in here, and this is going to be a code. So this could be the correct answer. But the problem with number 5 is that black can stand down here. And now what happens is that if white tries to preserve this eye, black can capture and connect back. There's no way white can capture black. If white captures here, right, it seems like these 5 stones will die. But black can come in from this way. What happens now is that white cannot enter here, and white cannot enter here. So white must connect. But as white connects, black can play here, and this is a rabbity 6 shape. Right? If you're not familiar with this shape, please check out the Life and Death chapter here on my channel, where I cover all these basic shapes. So this is a basic 6-face eye where white is actually dead. So as long as black gets to play at number 10, white will be dead. So that's our challenge. How can white find another extra eye through a code? These moves will not work. Seems like pretty hopeless. So how does it work? Right, so 1 through 6, that's the setup to this problem. And white's only hope lies in this push and cut. And this is where it gets really complicated. So please feel free to spend some time working through this problem on your own and see if you can make a code at the end. So if you're ready, let's look at it together. After white's cut, black's best move is probably this, just capturing these 2 stones. We can consider whether black can tarry here sometime down the line, but this seems to be the most intuitive move for black. Now the next move is really key for white. If white plays something like this, then white will still fail, because number 13 is not going to help these 2 stones. So that's why the next move is really, really important. This is a really sharp move. Let's consider this move first. If black captures number 13 this way, what happens now is that white can capture here. Black must come in this way, and what happens now is that white cannot enter from either the 1-1 point or the 1-3 point. But what white can do is forcing black to capture. Now black's liberties are much tighter, and now number 19 can atari here. And to kill white, number 20 must be here to make this into a rabbity 6 shape. And now white can start the code, right? Because now black cannot really connect here. If it connects, white will be able to play at number 23. This way, the stakes are much higher, and it seems like white has multiple co-threats here on the outside. So this will look pretty good for white. After number 21, black should not connect at number 22, right? Because this way, black is risking too much of its own stones. Instead, this is a 2-step code. Winning number 21 doesn't work. So white must capture 1 more. So black in this situation, if black is more conservative, meaning if black doesn't have any good co-threats elsewhere on the board, black can consider this move, allowing white to capture 1 more, and then try to capture this back, right? As long as black secures this code, the second step, black can still win. So it's a 2-step code for white and a 1-step code for black. But of course, white has many local co-threats, as we just saw. This one right here, 2, 3, 4. And to increase your number of co-threats, you can play this move instead of this. So 5. If black plays here, then white has even more. So maybe play here first. This is just for the sake of winning a code. In a real game, you may not want to sacrifice too many stones on the outside, because this really solidifies your opponent's wall. And of course, there's another one here that forces black to come inside. And this is another co-threat, right? Forcing black to destroy the eye shape. So there are 2 on the inside and many, many on the outside for white. So that's number 14 here, right? This would be similar to the number 14 right here. But what about this connection? This is actually really fascinating. What white can do now is play this move. Now black must capture these 2 stones. Otherwise, black will be captured, or this will be a code. This is probably not something good, right? Because white has this local co-threat. If you capture, then white will be alive. So this is not a good co for black, obviously. And now what happens is that white can capture here. Black must come in, right, in order to kill white. And if white connects here, black will still kill white with number 20. But what's happening now is that white can come in here. What black must do is to capture white, right? Otherwise, if white captures these 5 stones, this is a living shape. So black must capture, and now in order to live, white must capture as well. And now in order to kill white, black must play here, and now in order to live, white must play here again. So we have this on repeat. This is fascinating. This is not a ko where you only capture 1 stone. This is capturing 2 stones on repeat. And is this a ko? I think, strictly speaking, yes. This is also a ko. This is really fascinating, right? I didn't really see this before I started this video, actually. Just saw this just now, right? You can play this on repeat. And the rule should be, you shouldn't repeat the same pattern, right? So I repeated like 50 moves. Let's go back to number 18, right? So now after number 18, white plays here first, and in order not to repeat the pattern, black needs a co-threat now, probably, and black can play this, and now white needs a co-threat, so white can play this, and now black needs a co-threat. I think this is how it goes. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So this is still considered a ko, right? So if you run into this problem online, I don't think there's a remedy. You can just call it a tie or a draw if this happens online, and if the software doesn't take this into consideration. If you're in an in-person tournament, just have to call someone, call the ref, and see what they say. So finding co-threats is one solution. Otherwise, you just have to play for a draw, because usually this involves life and death that might determine the outcome of a game. So this is what's really fascinating. White gets to play number 15 here. This is going to be a very, very special ko. So that's number 14. It's still a ko. And now I'll leave this to you, calculating what happens if black plays something like this on the outside. Right. So this is probably black's strongest move. Does white still have this move? Probably. It gets more complicated, right? Because now if black connects here, this is still going to be, this will still exist. This ko will still exist after 15 and 17. So what if black captures white this way? So the challenge here is actually very similar. So white captures, black comes in, white forces black to capture, white Ataris. This is still going to be a 2-step ko, right? Because black cannot connect here. If black connects here, white can come in this way. And this is threatening the cut, right? So eventually, if white keeps winning the ko, black will have to connect here. And now all of a sudden, black is dead, right? So the best black can do is probably this move right here. And white will have to play on the outside. So this will get more complicated. I won't get into all the fighting moves here on the outside. But I think the idea is this, right? So white still has a chance of winning the ko. It's just not as straightforward if black chooses to play number 10 and 12 on the second line instead. So overall, this is really fascinating. We haven't seen a ko like this before. So I really hope you enjoyed this pattern. If you're still feeling confused or have any questions, please let me know. Thank you for watching.